Thumbs up. Thumbs down. Big Papa Pump needs your hookup. Holler if you hear me. What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
Let me in.
Say dummy. Dummy. Yeah. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are joined this week for another episode of the Heelcast. Joining me tonight, making his return, who is living in no man's land, Killer Kyle, Canadian Killer Kyle. How you doing, man?
Hey, Matt. I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. Thursday night, you know. Just watching Impact, so is what it is.
Right on. Yeah, I watched it last night, so.
Going to give our plugs for the week. We got to plug, of course, Andre Corbeil, Wrestling with Wrestling. Check them out. Great supporters of the Heelcast. Does a lot of great things. Check out People's Championship Wrestling on Twitter. Follow him. Follow his YouTube. And ImpactAsylum.net. All the Impact news you'd ever want. Message boards. You name it. So check them out. All right. The news this week is not a lot. There's a couple quick things. I guess we could talk about Deonna Purrazzo. She's not working with a contract right now. I think that's kind of surprising that you would put the belt on somebody without a contract. I'm a huge fan of Deonna Purrazzo, but I think they got to lock her down to a deal. I don't understand the hot shotting the title on her. I really enjoy her work. I was happy when she won, but now that I know she's not working with a contract, it's like they just got screwed with the whole Tessa stuff. It's like you don't want to play with fire like that. Not saying Deonna would ever do that, but I think it's just not the smartest move. What's your take?
Well, I really didn't know any of this until you just told me before we came on the podcast about Deonna Purrazzo not working with the contract under Impact Wrestling. So that's crazy in itself. And also, I like her as the champion, but I'm with you. I think she has to get a contract and see what happens. Hopefully she can stay, right?
Yeah, I definitely hope so. But she's very talented. I would hope, she would sign with Impact. I mean, especially how they treated her in the last, since debuting, they treated her like gold. No pun intended. But I just don't want to see Impact get burned anyway. After they've been getting burned with Tessa and whatnot, and so we'll see what happens.
Exactly. I wish the very best for her.
Yeah, no doubt. The only other thing that's really been going on in wrestling is the whole feud between Jim Cornette versus Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. I'm not a huge fan of either of them, Sonny Kiss or Joey Janela. I'm not really a huge fan of Jim Cornette at times, but I do think he has a lot of knowledge in the business. So when he talks wrestling, I do pay attention. I for one, I think I'm on his side on this one, which is weird because I'm usually not on his side about a lot of things, but I think I'm actually taking Jim Cornette's side on this whole situation. I mean, he roasted them he legitimately roasted them on his podcast. Kyle, did you hear any of this stuff?
No, I didn't. I would have loved to hear it, but with my poor internet connection out here, it's been kind of hard to, get the inside scoop. So I do appreciate you telling me this. It sounds pretty funny.
And I mean, Kyle, is it true that in your town there's actually more Bigfoot than there is people?
I don't really know, man. I just got here, so.
Okay, so you haven't seen the big old Sasquatch walking around yet, huh?
I don't really believe in the old Sasquatch stories, so.
Okay. Okay, all right. Just checking. But
hey man, I don't mean to sound racist or anything. We're on the Hillcast, so here it goes. So you're talking about Bigfoot and all that? I'd rather have them as my neighbors than the natives.
okay. Well, there you go, man. I mean, you would know more than I. You would more than I would. But yeah, well, you let me know if you ever hear the Sasquatch walking around.
Okay. I think my music. I think my music scares them away.
It might. Who knows? Maybe that's a good Sasquatch repellent. Listen to some metal, you know.
Yeah, man.
But so that's really, like, honestly, when I'm looking at the news, I mean, there's some WWE stuff, but I'm not really going to get into that. It's just there's rumors that Ricochet is possibly not re-signing when his deal's up, but that's all speculation. It's his contract. He's got a little bit yet to go with his contract. You know what we can talk about, though, that I did forget to mention was Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson are getting their own show on Access.
Cool.
Yeah. There's not really many details, but I think we can all kind of assume that it's Talkin' Shop Mania 2, I'm guessing.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you watch Talkin' Shop Mania?
Well, with the reaction I just gave you, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I did watch it. And wow, like, what the hell was that, man?
Okay, cool. It's about time we get somebody on the Heelcast that actually watched it. Like me, Goldberg, and CS. We were on like maybe a month and a half ago. It was actually like right after Slammiversary, and they were promoting this pay-per-view. And we all talked like we were going to watch it, and I still want to watch it. But none of us actually did watch it. So you've watched it. What was your thoughts of it? Like, is it worth checking out? Is it funny? I know it's not your typical wrestling.
If you want to laugh, I would watch it. I mean, if you watch it and expect to see wrestling on there, you're not going to see that. You're going to see a bunch of botches, and it's funny. I mean, I laughed at it. I mean, they're pretty funny, actually. I didn't know this until I watched that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to give that I think I'm definitely going to check that out. But yeah, I mean, they're getting their own show. That's pretty cool. I mean, for them, more content is a good thing, obviously.
Yeah, Impact needs more content, right?
Yeah. I would still hoping for that second show, but I'm not expecting anything during this COVID era. So hopefully they get that
exactly.
Figured,
Right.
But yeah, let's dive into Impact. I think that's really all we got for the news. So, I mean, overall Impact. We started off with the X Division three-way. Chris Bay versus Trey Miguel versus TJP. Saw Trey Miguel get the win, and then he instantly had to face Rohit Raju, who ended up getting the victory in a quick fashion. I personally, I had a problem with the three-way. I just don't get why Trey Miguel gets all these, all these. I don't want to sound like a Trey Miguel hater, but man, this guy gets so many darn victories. Like, but I guess I probably would have been disappointed if it was just TJP getting the win and then losing right away. So I guess I don't mind that whole aspect, but I am really enjoying Rohit Raju's character work. I think he is improving tremendously, and the guy has some good mic skills. I'm really enjoying what he's doing. Did you enjoy this?
I didn't enjoy the first part because I like the myself. That's fun. But don't the winner face Heat right away. At least make them wait until Victory Road, like the next Impact Plus event, right? That's what I would. Other than that, it was fine. And Rohit Raju is getting better.
Yeah, no question. The guy, we like when we were talking, we were doing our Slammiversary preview show, and we were talking, and I said that Rohit needed new theme music, and I was hoping he could get a new look. Well, I got one out of the two. He got new theme music, which I think is much better than what he was doing with just the generic Hit Squad. And he's got a character now. And he was, I love the fact that when he lost all those matches, it actually led to something. So for him to be the face of the X division right now, I think it's pretty cool. The guy's definitely a company man, and he's super underrated.
Hey, Matt. Isn't Sanjay Dutt the one who trained him, right?
I'm not sure on that.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to know. I just wanted to question. I'm pretty sure something with he got him a contract there or something like that.
He might have. I know that he won that Global Forged thing that they did. It was kind of like gut check. Mm-hmm. So I know he did win that. So
okay.
Yeah. All right. Then we had a knockouts match with Kimberly versus Susie. And this match actually got quite a bit of time. This was pretty good. I mean, Susie actually got to show, a little more of her wrestling, I guess, as Susie. So I did enjoy that they're kind of, giving her like her own moveset, so to speak, and allowing her to do more stuff. And clearly, she's still kind of going through that Su Yung, hints of Su Yung. But the fact that Susie got the win, I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. I like that they're trying to go back to Su Yung, but not quite just yet. And then you got Kylie kind of trying to talk her out of going into Su Yung, because I don't think Kylie, as smiley as she is, wants to see Su Yung like that, if you know what I mean.
Yes. And I think the layup pick for Bound for Glory when Kylie faces Deonna, I think Kylie obviously wins the title, especially with what we know with Deonna Purrazzo, and I'm okay with that because I think Kylie's a tremendous wrestler. She's got the look of a champion. I'm totally cool with that. I do see something happening with Su Yung though. I could see Susie turning back into Su Yung and then turning on Kylie Ray, and that might set up a feud there. It wouldn't surprise me at all, actually.
No, I would see that. I think it would bring, Deonna Purrazzo some competition. Kylie Ray at Battle for Glory. We're guessing, and yes, I can't wait.
Yeah, that should be good. We had some backstage promos with Eric Young. He cut a pretty good one. We also had the best man, I guess you could say, ceremony thing. This was pretty good. I thought it was pretty funny with Johnny Bravo. I enjoyed that. Not too much to say really about that. Anything else, but I did enjoy it. Then we had Eric Young. The Deaners were coming out, and then Eric Young basically just absolutely destroys the Deaners for about 10 minutes. I absolutely love this segment too. Eric Young is fantastic as champion. I will say that. Just him going crazy and just beating on the Deaners was awesome. Did you enjoy this as much as I did?
Oh yeah, I like Eric Young as the champion. I think he could be the best heel that Impact has, possibly.
Yeah, he absolutely just made that segment worthwhile. I mean, that was just fantastic job of doing that. And then we got the return of Eddie Edwards. They are going to wrestle at Victory Road, so Eddie Edwards is going to get his rematch there. I don't see anything. I don't see Eddie Edwards winning that, especially we'll get to it at the end. What happened to Eddie Edwards? So I don't see anything. And I think that goes to plan, really. I think Eric Young gets the win at Victory Road.
Yeah, I thought that was great. Great stuff.
Yeah, and then we also had a confrontation with Brian Myers and Tommy Dreamer. I don't know. It just feels like they're trying things to keep Tommy Dreamer, I don't know, interested in, to keep him interested or just to keep him around. It just seems like he gets into like someone else's business and then he's just there to kind of put someone over. That's really all he's there right now for. And speaking of Tommy Dreamer, did you hear that House of Hardcore is folding?
No, I didn't. Really interesting.
Yeah, he announced it on Twitter that after four years, he's closing up shop. And honestly, it makes sense. I mean, he's got such a big role and impact that I just think it's just too hard for him to keep both going, kind of. So, it's too bad. I think House Hardcore was fun while it lasted. I think they had some really good shows.
Mm-hmm. I watched a few of them myself. They weren't bad.
Yeah, they were good. I mean, I think, it was mainly like once they got on Twitch, it was, it was cool. You could see it every month, but I don't know. Tommy it's strange because he seemed so excited to get that thing going. And then, once he started doing stuff with Impact, it just kind of seemed like that took, most of his time, and House Hardcore was just kind of second fiddle. But he had a lot of, the talent that he used. It was pretty entertaining. I will say that. So it's too bad, but obviously he's got, bigger things with Impact going. So it's tough to do both.
Do you think that his days of retiring are coming to a close here?
No, I really don't. I think Tommy Dreamer is going to try to wrestle until he's 60, at least.
So you think he's going to be another Terry Funk kind of type?
Yes. I think that's exactly who he's turning into.
Cool.
And
what about Rob Van Dam?
I don't think he'll last as long. I do see Rob Van Dam retiring in the next 5 years, maybe even sooner.
Yeah, he's kind of screwing up. He's kind of screwing up that frog splash spot.
Yeah. He's just not as athletic. I mean, he's almost 50. It's to be expected. His style is, but for the fact that he is almost 50, some of the stuff he still can do is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I've always been a fan of Rob Van Dam.
Yeah. And, you know, I totally botched this one, and this is on me, but we totally forgot to talk about Legion of Doom, Road Warrior Animal passing away unexpectedly at the age of 60. This kind of, hit me a little because, my favorite tag team growing up is no longer here. And I guess, like, what is your favorite Legion of Doom Road Warrior memory, and what's your favorite match too?
Well, this is gonna go back to 1998 at WrestleMania 14 when they came out in the Battle Royal, and I believe they won that Battle Royal. I think, if I go way back, right?
You might be right.
Battle Royal.
Yeah, you might be right. I'm not. I should know this, but I don't. Unfortunately, I'm not the hugest WWF mark.
Okay.
Like Attitude Era, like I really watched like when the Austin McMahon stuff was like full, full. Yeah, that's kind of like when I started tuning back into them. But
that'll do it every time.
I mean, I know. Okay, so I remember their first WWF run pretty well. I completely missed their WCW run because I didn't get back into wrestling at that time. But I do remember seeing that. Unfortunately, I remember seeing that stupid storyline where they had Animal team with Droz, and Hawk. They had like Hawk do the drunken, drug problem gimmick. I thought that was stupid. So, that's really when I got to see them kind of in their last run. And I also got to see, obviously, Animal come back to WCW and join the Magnificent Seven stable, which was pretty good. I didn't mind that, actually. But it wasn't Animal in that triple threat match where Sid busted his leg? Was that a triple threat match for some reason?
No, I think when Sid broke his leg, it was against Scott Steiner at Starrcade, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. Wasn't Animal involved with a match against Sid at some point though? Around that time,
he could have been.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know someone's listening to this and they're like, "Oh my gosh, these guys have no idea what they're talking about." But I've seen so much wrestling. It's like, it's just all blurs together sometimes,
Oh, yes.
Yeah. My favorite Legion of Doom match is against the Natural Disasters, though. I was totally into that match. I was rooting so hard for the Legion of Doom and, them winning. It was pretty cool. And it seemed like the Natural Disasters turned face, after that, shortly after, I should say. But
oh yeah, trust me, we know all about our wrestling on here. We just watch too much of it, and I think that's part of the problem. It all gets filtered in with the shit, right?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, the road. I actually really enjoyed the scaffold match against the Midnight Express too. If we're going like older Road Warrior stuff, that was really entertaining. Yeah, Legion of Doom, man. What can you say? Like, they got some of the biggest pops you would ever hear in wrestling. I mean, they're just, in my opinion, they're the greatest tag team of all time.
Rest in peace to Legion of Doom.
Yeah. Yep. So, it's too bad, but it is what it is at this point. So, all right, going back to Impact. We also had a match between RVD and Sami Callihan. I enjoyed the heel tactics of RVD and Katie Forbes. So I was okay with RVD getting the win. He didn't win last week. So he gets the win here. And you know, I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I think Katie Forbes is doing solid stuff as a manager. What did you think of this?
I liked it. I thought it was one of the best parts of the show, considering that I'm a Rob Van Dam mark. Even though he's getting older, as we talked about earlier, I still thought it was a good match. I like the heel tactics with Katie Forbes. I think that helps with Rob Van Dam's win, and we'll see what happens come Bound for Glory for RVD.
And I got to ask you, what did you think of Heath's promo?
Oh man, that was awesome. I love that.
That was David Hasselhoff, correct? David Hasselhoff.
Yeah.
Yeah. David Hasselhoff, Flavor Flav, Nancy Kerrigan, and Chuck Norris. That's pretty good stuff.
Oh, right. Chuck Norris. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah. Funny stuff. I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm enjoying the Heath stuff. And then, the whole stuff with Rhino is pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Iron Heath.
Yes, exactly. Main event, we had Tennille Dashwood make her return to the ring with her new manager, Caleb with a K, Conley, taking on Jordan Grace. Me personally, I'm a huge Tennille Dashwood fan. I'm a big fan. Jordan Grace dropped her on her head almost like Owen Hart style. I'm thankful that she didn't get, seriously injured in this. That spot did not look good. So, my thoughts on Jordan Grace. I'm glad Tennille got the win, obviously. But man, talk about, not protecting your fellow wrestler, which is like rule number 1, But I enjoyed this. I loved Tennille getting the victory here. I can't wait to see what else happens with her going forward. What was your thoughts, Canadian Killer Kyle?
Well, I like Jordan Grace. Might not be the most popular decision in the world, but as a wrestling fan, but when she dropped her on her head like that was pretty rough. I will say that. She should be protecting her opponent at all times during the match. But Tennille eventually, I think, got the win. And Caleb with a K annoys me. I hope they get rid of that guy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how he just kind of made his return. He was doing stuff in the NWA. And, I mean, I guess NWA is losing guys left and right. So I guess it's good, though, that Caleb Conley's got an actual gimmick. And I don't mind this gimmick for him, to be honest. Yeah, he's annoying, but at least he's doing something. Because before, when he was doing that stuff with Trevor Lee, he was just kind of bland,
Mm-hmm.
So this at least gives him something to do. So I didn't mind that.
Yeah, you're right. I can understand that. But I don't think it's going to last. That's what I'm saying. So I think he'll go back to being a wrestler again.
Oh, yeah, there's no question. We did get an EC3 promo. I don't know. Like, I feel like EC3 needs to do something. Like, they're really doing this slow burn with him and Moose, and I feel like I want it to go somewhere, it's like really dragging its feet. It's like they're just trying to just do this really slowly and until Bound for Glory. I mean, that's my thoughts on this. Do you have anything different? Like, do you like what they're doing?
I think it's kind of boring, and it's. I think we've seen EC3 versus Moose at a Bound for Glory before, if I'm not mistaken, for some kind of title, right?
Was that for the Grand?
It could have been. It could have been. Yeah, I mean, so I don't know if I want to see it again, really.
Well, I don't mind the feud, and I like how he's held he's held the title hostage, but it's like it's really hasn't gone anywhere. Like I thought, like okay, once he took it, to Moose's hometown,
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was actually gonna, they were actually gonna do something with it, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like it's just EC3 gives a promo, does something with Moose's title, like he says, TikTok, he's gonna destroy the title and it's getting really close and then nothing happens, so it's like I want them to do, let's advance the storyline here. I know Bound for Glory's, a month away from today actually, so I don't know, I just like they got to do something with this it's just, to me, EC3 should be involved more. Like I don't know what his contract stipulation is, but he should be involved more, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he should be wrestling in the ring instead of all this hiding behind screen stuff. It's kind of getting a bit lame. I think they're just trying to build him up because they want to have him kind of like, okay, he's going to wrestle at Power for Glory, and then just push him from there. But I don't know, man. It's just I'm kind of with you on all this.
If that's what they do, then I'm okay, I guess. But I really hope, like after Victory Road, that they really ramp this up and get it going, because I think they need to do something, because he's too big of a name to just not be focused on. I think they got to get something going here. So
I agree.
mm-hmm. All right. So then we had I like to call these the post-credit scene. We had Eddie Edwards leaving the building. He gets jumped by somebody. Who do you think he's getting jumped by?
I don't want to say Michael Elgin because I know he's not an Impact anymore, but I have no idea. I'm just gonna say that.
Gosh, I wish it was Mike Elgin. If he comes back, that would be great. Because that would make perfect sense too. Because he put wasn't that I mean, they were feuding obviously going into that Slammiversary.
Right, they had the best of 5 series, I believe, and I think I heard over the internet that Michael Elgin got released by Impact. Right?
He did. Well, yeah, he did, because of the whole stinking Me Too movement that was going on with wrestling. But you never know. He wasn't. His case was he was fighting his case because he seemed like his wasn't as bad, obviously, as Joey Ryan's or was it Jake Chris or Dave? No, it was Dave Christ. He was the other one that got released. His seemed like it wasn't as bad. But I would love that to be Mike Elgin.
It would make the most sense. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And it would be a great way to return him and go after Eddie Edwards. So I'm totally for that.
Definitely.
Yep. So Impact, did you enjoy it? What was your thoughts on the show overall?
I think it was all right. I think next week's will be better, and I'm most looking forward to Victory Road.
Yeah, Victory Road should be pretty good. That's next Saturday, I believe, October 3rd. So, I'll be definitely watching. I don't think anything too crazy is going to happen, but that's okay. I thought Impact was actually pretty good. I enjoyed the Eric Young segment. I loved his whole stuff. Like, that was great. That was awesome. I think that Eric Young and Scott D'Amore got something going on. I think Scott D'Amore is somehow going to turn on Rich Swann at Bound for Glory, and Eric Young retains the title.
That would be cool. The old Team Canada days.
Yeah, exactly. You can bring Petey back. You can bring A1 in there. Get a little.
Why not?
So that could be something. That could be something special. So I'd have to give Impact a good 7.5 out of 10. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good show. I thought the pacing was well done. The vignettes in the back. We didn't really talk about the Good Brothers and Motor City Machine Guns and the Rascals. So I enjoyed that. I thought it was a pretty solid effort by Impact. There's obviously things to improve upon, no question, but it was good stuff. It was good stuff. What if you had to give it a score, what would your score be?
I'll give it a solid 8 out of 10. I thought it was a good episode this week, and I look forward to next week's.
Yes. Next week should be good. I think we got the Rascals versus the Good Brothers. They may have announced another match, but I don't know if I caught that. But yeah. So I don't know. I mean, like really, that's all I got to really say this week. There really wasn't too much going on.
Nope.
Yeah.
I haven't even watched AEW yet.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of that AEW, the late AEW that was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
That a little bit.
Sean Spears versus Matt Sydal was the main event, I believe.
Who ended up winning that?
Sean Spears, I think, won that match.
Okay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Canadian Killer Kyle, I think that's it. I think we can wrap. I think we can send this thing home. I mean, you have any final thoughts that you want to say?
No, just thanks for letting me come on. Hopefully you all enjoyed the show, and maybe I'll be back.